What if you could mine the weather? You're probably thinking, what are you talking about? I'm talking about this. It's a weather miner. Previously, we covered Fry networks, and we went over our install of erecting our tower of DEPIN here over at BMA with Dennis and Colby. More acute data than you could ever hope to get from, say, the weather app or good old weather bug. And yeah, so setting this up was easy. I mean, you take it out of the box, you put a couple pieces together on it, and then in this case, we already had these pieces of superstrut with all of the immersion mining infrastructure at BMA's mining farm. So I was just like, yeah, let's just zip tie it to this. Then we take the module that it comes with, and we needed to connect that to the device, and that module connects to Wi-Fi. And at that point, we can then get this data online and accessible, useful for us to be able to access and see it. And then I also head over to Fry and complete the forms, as well as get the API key in order to start earning rewards with this device. Fry networks, right? Building a greener future, decentralized network, DEPIN, which is decentralized physical infrastructure network. We got the high-end weather miner in from them. This is a weather station capable of mining Fry, onboarding the weather station to their ecosystem. They use multiple weather station models. You can order your type that will fit whatever frequency you need to be in. You have a question, I would go ahead and contact them, or jump into Discord and connect with other French fries and see what they recommend would be the right solution for you. It's pretty easy. If you're in the US, it's US 915, and that's what I am using. It's the same frequency type as like the helium miners, if you remember and are familiar with that. So with that said, you may also not get a display, and you would just use the app for that. If you've ever Googled around, there's a lot of weather stations out there, and we take like ambient weather here, for example, which is very similar, if not like the same type model that we received. But what's really interesting is how well these are reviewed, right? And this is the same type of hardware that we're using here. So I just thought that I would mention, while it looks like a cheap toy, it gets the job done, and again, it's very well reviewed. So we can see this one with this display. It's pretty cool. So it gives you all this nerd information that you may love to have. We're working on building our own little homestead here, piece by piece, out here in the VoskCoin farm. I would love to deploy another weather station set up here, for the garden, and so we can get that real-time data readout and adjust accordingly. And it's just very cool. You may also think of WeatherXM. They're basically doing the same thing, but this is all that they're doing, and it's just a piece of what Fry is doing. Whether that's better or worse, well, of course, time will tell. And beyond the weather miner, I just want to touch on all of these other crazy miner models they have, like indoor and outdoor satellite miners. They have decibel miners, camera miners, air quality miners, water quality miners, bandwidth miners. I mean, it really seems like they just took all the other DEPIN projects and what, we're just going to deploy all that. We're going to do all the hardware, and you can come and get the data from us. But the thing I'm the most upset about is the fact that they're called Fry Network, and I know why Fry, because of the founder's name. But can I get something fun here branded with French fries on it? Is that just the American in me? Come on. And they've got their own token, and it's on the algo chain, and it's pretty seamless and easy to use, but make sure you activate the token on there, because if you do not activate the token in your wallet, you won't get payouts, and you won't get them retroactively. So I'd love to see more data here on CoinGecko so we can get a real understanding of like circulating supply, market cap, things like that. But that's a follow-up item for Fry's crypto to do. What they've tracked on here, they're down 95% from their all-time high. They're up 95% from their all-time low. That's awkwardly or weirdly even there. So much like the original video, we're using the Algo wallet. I've earned rewards every single day in the Fry token. The weather miner receives double the awards that each AI camera does, so it basically doubles my Fry rewards. So I'm earning about $2.78 a day, so that's about 22 cents. It's doing honestly pretty good volume for a project of this size, in my opinion. In the last 24 hours, it hit volume of about $10,000, and that's pretty typical. Their volume is normally between $10,000 and $20,000 a day. We're going to continue pushing further into DEPIN. I think there's going to be a lot of money-making opportunities moving forward, especially in DEPIN, largely because it's a relatively newer sector. It's more accessible, and if we hit a crypto bull run, it's just going to be a lot of opportunities across the board. But I think DEPIN has a lot of focus and a lot of funding and marketing, and it's just set to explode, right? I really appreciate Fry for the opportunity to review this and supporting the channel. We also introduced them to Moken, which is the team behind that is Helium Deploy. If you saw our video on GeoNet, and there's definitely some overlap there. So they may start distribution of Fry devices. And then with Moken, it gives you numerous abilities. It's like a software service, right? Helium Explorer, Helium Coverage Simulator, Reward Estimators, Ask AI, and a DEPIN tracker. So for example, in the DEPIN tracker, you can see my GeoNet, which obviously had the code name Geodude.
Geodude, let's go!
And it sent me a notification. This is a good reminder that I need to go get this miner fixed up and back online. Beyond that, they have reward estimators, which I think is pretty cool because it's basically much more complex mining profitability calculators. For example, Helium Mobile and things like that. So I'm hoping that they add Fries to a tracker service here, and then also a reward estimator, because it's normally pretty difficult without just talking to people in Discord servers and things like that, or maybe watching a video. How much are people actually earning? Well, what are they doing, and how are the rewards working, reflecting that? But yeah, another simple, good, straightforward process with Fry here. So deploying the miner was easy. The rewards have been rolling in automatic. The devices use a couple watts a day, basically. They're nearly free to run, but they're relatively cheap devices to get into. They're very cheap devices to run. It's very easy to do overall, and if this ever takes off, it could be super lucrative in retrospect, but of course it's not financial advice. And then beyond that, we're building a network that hopefully they can utilize all that data, create something worthwhile, and then of course the network creators, which is essentially crowdsourced by people like me and the others mining and doing all the other DEPIN type services, they'll be rewarded, as that will hopefully take off and find real utility there. If nothing else, I'm very happy to see another essentially mineable or close enough to mining, right? I kind of think of DEPIN as like an offshoot of mining. It's not quite mining. It's a different form of mining, I guess, if you want to call it that, than say like traditional Bitcoin mining. But the bottom line is, the point is, I love to see opportunities like this still being built, still exist, and ever growing. So, hey, I'm Vosk. You're the VoskCoin YouTube channel. 10 seconds of tail. She is our CDO, Chief DEPIN Officer. And yeah, see you on the next one.